Hello, Aries. Welcome to your weekly reading for March 9th to the 15th. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Aries, happy daylight savings. Yeah, you got an extra hour in your new era. Remember, you've left the old world already. You've left the old world. There's no Tower Records or Circuit City. There's no paper money here. You're in your new world. This is it, okay? Thanks to the Great Reset, the Great Awakening, the Great Shift, all of that. Yeah. That happened on February 20th, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in your sign. So you're still getting acclimated. You're going through your, rebirth, right? To the new you, especially with, remember, over the weekend, we had Venus conjunct Saturn. We had, Mercury Cazimi, Mercury trine Jupiter. It's all spilling over into this week. Therefore, you're gonna experience a lot of change, and with what's happening, pretty dramatic change. Okay, because you're a caterpillar. You know that, right? There are 4 stages to becoming a butterfly. You remember this from middle school. You already went through the Saturn-Neptune conjunction last month. That was the cracking of the egg. You're in stage 2 this week, okay? You are going to be laying the groundwork. You're going to be building your bridge to the new you. As part of your spiritual growth, of course, we're in Pisces season, and there's a lot that's going to, you're going to have some big moments. So keep that in mind. All right. The other thing is, things might be a little bit confusing with Mercury retrograde. You might feel like, you're going in circles, you're running into walls, which honestly, remember, I said this is going to be one of the strongest Mercury retrogrades this year. And it's not just because of that, it's because of everything else that's happening. I mean, all of that can feel really strange while your consciousness expands. So don't resist change. Don't fight any setbacks. Take this time to reflect. Focus on you, your intuition, your pineal gland, your path forward. This week you're meant to reassess and review and rethink everything. Yeah, your friends, your friendships, your lovers, your jobs, your passions, what brings you joy, what feels right for you, any of those, where is that energy? Yeah. What are the things that you feel that you're reassessing? Okay. Because stage 3, when you get to stage 3 is that cluster of days the week after, right? Next week. Around March 20th, where we have the equinox, we have the sun moving into your sign. Happy birthday. Yep. We have the new moon, and all planets are going to be direct. So again, this week you want to get to the point you trust the bridge that you're building toward your new you. Okay. You're going to be asking a lot of questions. Is my foundation, is it set? Is it stable? Is my heart fully invested? What's on the other side of the bridge? How bad do I want it? And how good will it feel when I get there? Okay, because stage 4, are you ready for stage 4? That's all you. It's showtime when it comes to stage 4. That's in April. That's when you're going to have all, full clarity. You're going to have solid ambition. Stage 4 is a green light, but we got that 7-planet stellium in your sign. You know that, right? You saw your 2026 forecast, right? It's happening around the new moon in your sign. 7 planets. We've never had that before. Okay. And then also Uranus is moving into Gemini. I mean, the prism portal is just getting so locked in. And April will be your big butterfly reveal, okay? So remember, your future self is watching you right now. So use this week for you. With Mars in Pisces, you're going to feel emotionally, spiritually driven and inspired, maybe with new goals. And with Venus in your sign, you're going to feel extra passionate, maybe even rebellious. Yeah? Like you want to bring dancing back to your small town in Utah. Whatever it is, whatever you want. You're not going to take no for an answer, especially Monday, March 9th, when you see Venus in your sign is going to sextile Pluto in Aquarius. Now, we typically have this a couple times a year. We're only getting it once this year. Use it wisely, okay? Venus in your sign is, I want this, I will get it. Pluto in Aquarius says, oh yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to burn everything down for you to have it. So there is a lot of intensity here. Pluto, remember, is power. Pluto has depth. He transforms. And both Venus and Pluto have to do with relationships, wealth, sex, and power. So you are going to feel this. You're going to feel this, especially with Venus in your sign. What does your heart desire, right? And Aquarius, oh, yeah, Pluto Aquarius, that's your 11th. But Pluto natively rules your 8th. So what does this mean for you? Well, you're going to want a lot of things that it's almost like you're going to go through your connections to get, okay? And this is all part of your transformation and really doubling down here for you with Pluto natively ruling your 8th, because that is transformation. That is death and rebirth. That is like building relationships. It's building your wealth. It's investments, inheritance, it's royalties. It's also intimacy. So this is going to be a really strong aspect. And remember, it is a sextile. This is an opportunity for the taking. You could literally like completely rebrand yourself around this time. And again, especially through your networks, your community, maybe even for your audience, people you connect with Pluto and Aquarius in your 11th. I mean, it could be through apps, dating apps if you're single, investment apps like Robinhood or whatever. If you are here for, stocks, etc., which is really strong for you this day. So just keep that in mind. You're going to feel very magnetic. Venus is in your sign. You're going to feel empowered, all right? Like a hero or a villain. Sure, maybe both, like Tom or Jerry. Because remember, here's the thing. Venus is your desires. It's everything that your heart desires. And Pluto can take things to extremes. So, yes, passion can burn deep. This can also be obsession. It can be jealousy. It can be power struggles. It can be manipulation to get what you want. Just letting you know, those are the lower expressions. So you want to use this energy for your better self, right? Right? All right. Here's the thing, though. There is a plot twist. And if you watch for your rising or your moon, if you're a cross watcher, if you have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius in your chart, as your top 3, sun, moon, or rising, especially, or if you know anybody, buckle up, because this day the moon will be in Scorpio, okay? And we all know about the moon in Scorpio. It already has some intensity, but the moon in Scorpio will be opposite Uranus and Taurus. These are 2 fixed signs, okay? Now, here's just, we're going to talk about this more in the bonus spread, but ancient astrologers didn't know about the outer planets. And so in modern dignity, Uranus is considered exalted in Scorpio. So in theory, because the moon is exalted in Taurus, you have mutual reception by exaltation. And so you've got, it's almost like the emotional intensity of the Scorpio moon is forced to work with the chaotic, upheaval nature of Uranus that's in Taurus. So what makes this what makes this a little bit more mind-blowing, because there is another plot twist to this plot twist, okay? And by the way, I say that that there may not be these two planets are going after each other, by the way, all right? Because the moon doesn't like being in Scorpio, Uranus doesn't like being in Taurus. But the second plot twist that makes it even a little bit more complex is that Venus is the ruler of Taurus and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, modern ruler, right? So the rulers of the signs are in this harmonious relationship, hosting the opposition. And even though they're not, aspecting, I mean, it's Venus sextile Pluto. So it's already like fuel that's already lit. That's and a lot of emotional intensity this day. But anyway, we'll talk more about the second spread. The other thing is that we will, I mean, you know what? When we get to the later part in the night, in the evening, we will have a minor grand trine, okay? With the moon in Leo, Venus in your sign, and Pluto in Aquarius. So that's a lot of fire and air. So will you feel Monday strongly? Absolutely. It's like your big, big day. You're like burst. You're ready to go. All right. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. Tuesday, March 10th, Jupiter goes direct. Yeah, and listen, Jupiter finally going direct in Cancer is going to be loud because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer where he does his best, but at his degree of exaltation, the highest frequency that he can go. And all month, by the way, he will be at 15 degrees all month. So that's like absolutely amazing. So you're going to feel this momentum right away. Okay. The, support, security, blessings, optimism, especially home and family. Okay. Real estate, things that have to do with, your roots, ancestry, all that fourth house energy. But from this point forward, you will start seeing more luck and good fortune and wisdom, protection, all amplified until June, Jupiter being here in Cancer until June. And then remember, by March 20th, next week, okay, so next week, all planets will be direct until May. So you got like these 2 months where all the planets are direct. You're going to see things move, okay? Now, the other thing is that, interestingly, just to let you know, the moon at this point will be in Sagittarius. Like, you're going to feel you're going to be taking risks. You're going to be taking a lot of risks. You're going to feel very adventurous. But what's really interesting is that the moon in Sagittarius is actually going to conjunct the fixed star Antares, this royal star, but also square Mercury in Pisces. So you've got, when it comes to the lunations, you have 2 signs that Jupiter rules, Sagittarius and Pisces, the moon in Sag, Mercury in Pisces, the day that Jupiter goes direct. We'll talk about it in the second spread. Especially if you're looking for a sign from the universe, like this is it. Now, you see that Mars is going to conjunct the North Node on Friday the 13th. And, that tracks with this aspect, especially if you saw the last live stream I did, with Nick Dagenbest. I'll leave it at the end of this video. We talked about March. All right. So, FYI, Mars is your planet. Mars is your ruler. And he is the god warrior. So, what he's doing is he's making you look destiny right in the eyes. He's saying, YOLO, do it. Do it. And you probably will. All right. Look how fired up you're going to be all week. You're probably going to take all this action, but it's in Pisces. Again, very spiritual. Intuition. This is even healing, right? The 12th house. This is it. This is it. This is a huge spiritual awakening as well. That you might, you're going to have some big moments here. But here's the thing. Mars, he isn't just drive, he's courage, which is great. He's in, again, the spiritual waters of Pisces. He's connecting with the North Node of fate. So the actions that you take will be inspired, and they will be for your dreams or your calling or your life purpose. All right. But like a gladiator, it's Mars. Or you will see these fated events, fated circumstances unfold this day. But it is still Mars, who can be aggressive. He's just a little wet. So the other thing, the lower expression of this aspect, and I told you in your monthly forecast, this can be a little aggressive. This would be, you may feel some pressure here. You may feel some urgency. There's a little, it's inflammation, it's escalation, maybe not seeing eye to eye with others, hidden enemies revealed. Could be a big thing for you. Someone you thought you trusted. Fate wanted you to know that maybe this person probably not trustworthy. Also, escapism. You want to avoid that. You might be reactive as well in some circumstances. You might feel a little unhinged on your path to enlightenment. Just keep in mind, this is a fated moment. All right, actions, as you know, have consequences. So you do want to channel this energy with kindness, compassion, self-love, having faith in yourself to be karmically rewarded. All right. And remember, karma literally means action in Sanskrit. All right. And you want to maybe discern whether something about your path needs to change this day. Just do diplomatically. All right. The only person who doesn't make mistakes is a person who does nothing. Remember, this is a 19-year cycle. If you want to think about what happened the last time you had this aspect, think around April 24th, 2007, and give it about a week. So just think April 24th to the end of the month, 2007. You might remember that time. Because I actually went back and I looked at the chart. We had a mutable Grand Cross. We had two oppositions squaring each other. And so I was like, whoa, you would not forget what happened, basically. It was intense. Like you couldn't find your center of gravity. But again, it's just a little bit of an echo, all right? Obviously, the sky chart is very different now from 19 years ago. Not the same, right? But something from that time you could possibly clean up now or end now karmically, spiritually. All right. And if you are a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your, husband, Ricky, your mommy, whoever, right? Mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. I am going to throw in Scorpio and Cancer as well. We'll feel this conjunction the most. And if you have any planets 5 to 10 degrees in any of the mutable signs, the first 4 signs I said, then in your natal chart, you would feel it the most. Now, the other thing that's happening, I think that you're really going to like Friday night. There's a lot of work stuff. There's a lot of career activity, by the way. The moon will be in Capricorn, but we do have a really great sextile with the moon and the sun. What else is happening? Oh, and then Sunday. Yeah. Sunday, March 15th, Mercury will conjunct Mars, 10 degrees in Pisces. So I want you to think about the last 2 weeks of October when we had a series of Mercury Mars conjunctions. And they honestly don't happen as much as they've been happening. But Mercury conjunct Mars, it really is, power of the mind. Yeah. So another pretty aggressive aspect. There could be some heated exchanges. This is where you could find someone is weaponizing words or being too preachy or passive aggressive or, accelerating, fantasies and illusions. Or it could be you, right? This could be you. Or you could go the higher expression, right? That route. And put your vision and your dreams in motion where you write or speak with positive, passionate impact. It's like one of those aspects where you leave a conversation saying, good talk, Good talk. Yeah, that's what this aspect is, especially in Pisces. You could also return to projects or relationships or even like your dreams that you set aside with, especially with Mercury retrograde, right? This is also just having the courage to speak honestly, maybe direct. All right, we're rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. You get that? The fact that Mercury is retrograde, yeah, there could also be some miscommunication. So say what you mean and mean what you say diplomatically on this day. It will be the mutable signs Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces who feel this the most. And if you have any planets, 8 to 12 degrees in any other signs, you'll definitely feel it. And then lastly, Ceres is finally leaving your sign, moving into Taurus, okay? All the way through Taurus season. So we'll be there, Ceres will be here for a couple months. And I honestly think that you really liked having Ceres, but there's about 51% of you that maybe were just like, right? Because Ceres, she's like Mama Bear. She's the harvest goddess, right? So Ceres is how you nurture yourself, how you give and receive care. It's all about nourishment and comfort. And in your sign, it was all about self-protection, self-preservation, survival mode. But in Taurus, the focus is going to shift to your body, to security and resources, what's valuable to you, with a huge emphasis on your diet and food, because Taurus rules food. So detox, digestion, sustenance. Am I eating healthy? What am I feeding my kids? What are my parents eating? Ceres is the grain god, right? So like wheat, gluten, food intolerances. We'll talk about it more in the second spread, but yeah, it will, and we'll actually talk about this a lot more when she has her first aspect, and it will be with Pluto. So let's get started. Aries, let's see what's going on for you this week. And by the way, yeah, a couple aspects, but you see how powerful they are. They're powerful aspects. It really is being conscious of all the actions that you take. But let's get started. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, March 19th to the 15th. All right, Aries, we're so close. We are so close to your birthday season. You're gonna get the things that you want. It is just, come on. You just had rare aspect happen in your sign at 0 degrees. You've got Venus taking you all the way to your birthday season. You got 7 planets in your sign when we get to your birthday season. I mean, come on. This is such a big deal. Aries, I do a traditional Cultic Cross spread, offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading if we need to pull clarifiers. You know that we will. And Aries, come on. I got the double candles out. I got 2 candles. And to be honest, they're both scented. And so I might have to put one out. Or because they're not the same scents. All right, let's get started though. Aries, y'all are hilarious. You crack me up. Come on. Yeah, you're okay. Okay. This is gonna be a big week of change. You know that. I hope that you see that here. And literally everything that I just said is right here. Wow. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles. There you go. Here's the thing. You're probably feeling a lot of Mercury retrograde. You're probably feeling a lot of what's going on. And you're probably feeling that because here's the thing with Mercury retrograde, again, one of the strongest, like I said, delays. And there's going to be also you reflecting a lot. Now, when you reflect, sometimes you do that shadow work as well. And with the moon in Scorpio, you're just going to be coming out of. right? And remember, it was part of a grand water trine as well. The reason I'm bringing all that up, because it's all up here. The Five of Pentacles, sure, Pentacles are your physical realm, is your physical world, the circumstances that you're in. And these two people are not in great circumstances. Yeah. They're literally outside of church. There is a little bit of refusal to go in. Like, they're focusing on their plight. And the church is a sanctuary. That's where the party is, right? That's where you want to be connecting with others. Your 11th house so lit. But this really is mind over matter. It all starts up here. It's again, it's your perspective on things. And so, sure, you could be going through some changes. There could be something that is changing where maybe you're not happy, or maybe the changes that you want aren't happening fast enough because of Mercury retrograde in Pisces. It's all up here. All right. So it's changing your mindset, mind over matter. But again, that's why this week is so important, because you do that, you vibrate at that higher frequency. And what did I say? This is a week to reassess, review, take a step back. What are the things that need to change? What are the things I'm going to fix? I'm going to go ahead and fix it. And it can have to do with money, finances, right? Like I said, from the get-go, you got Venus, sextile Pluto. It's charged. That's a charged up aspect. And Pluto natively ruling your 8th, while the moon is in Scorpio. Scorpio ruling the 8th. Yep. So, and the 8th, has to do with love and money and relationships. And so I got to grab my dog. And she, yep. And so that's the thing about, that's the funny thing about this spread, is that you can see, once you get yourself out of that, once you actually look up and you face the fact that maybe there is a circumstance that you're in, and you're just like, instead of, these lower energy frequencies, I'm going to look at the cup, not half full, but overflowing. And there you go. You attract what you want. I told you, you're going to be a magnet with Venus in your sign. You're going to get what you want. Ace of Cups and the heart of your strength. I mean, this is the, the Holy Grail. And we actually call it the Heart of Tarot, this card. And it is in the heart of your spread this week. So, as you know, aces bring new beginnings, new opportunities, new paths. There's something that is going to feel rapturous. That is the Ace of Cups. And it may have to do with relationships. The Ace of Cups. Cups are relationships, emotions, feelings, intuition, love, all of that. All of that. It may have to do with relationships. It may have to do with, you getting that dream job that you wanted, or that raise, or that, inheritance. Maybe your parents, maybe they own, I don't know, all the Wendy's in South Florida. And they're like, you know what, Janice, we're gonna retire. We're gonna move to Alaska. You get the Wendy's businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses. There you go. Whatever it is, because again, your 8th house is gonna be lit up. You got Venus and Pluto, and that's also the other thing. Maybe there is a relationship you feel like is holding you back, or maybe you feel like you are holding a relationship back. And when I say relationship, that can have to do with love and romance. It can also be career. It's Pentacles, all right? So whatever it is, you're moving into something really great. So there is something ending for you that it just seems like you didn't want anyway. Really great. You've got the moon. And also, this is with Mercury retrograde, with everything this week. There is also a sense of like repairing things as well. Okay. So you got the moon in your challenge area. That's the thing. This is just show you're coming out of something. This could have been taking a big toll on you. There could have been something that was just, had this emotional weight, but also the moon, is the subconscious as well. The moon is memories. The moon is, you know what the moon is in your challenge area. But again, look what's happening here. You're coming out of something. You're coming out of something that could have been taking a toll. It could have been a matter of facing some of, your fears, right? Looking at them head on. Just be like, you know what? Get out, right? Doing some shadow work as well. The other thing that's happening here is that, yeah, it does feel like there's it does feel like there is going to be this merging of the mind and emotions for you this week. You have that Two of Pentacles in your crown. What's the decision you're going to make this week? Yeah. There's a little bit of, with the Two of Pentacles, a little bit of this career energy that's coming through strong. Money, energy, finances, but career it just feels strong here right now. Oh, and by the way, the moon is attributed to Pisces, all right, in tarot. And so again, it really is all about trusting your intuition. Maybe there is that disconnect, but again, I feel like you're coming out of it because you do this week. Now, that Two of Pentacles in your crown, did you see your monthly forecast when we broke it down week by week? Yeah. So, yeah, it just seems like there is a sense of, do you know what you want? Do you know what you want moving forward? Is there something that is more important than the other thing? It's all about prioritizing. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to make a decision right away. Remember, spend time reassessing, reevaluating, reviewing, and you've got a big fated moment happening this week with Mars and the North Node. Now, yeah, the Eight of Cups and the root of your spread. Good for you. And that's what I'm talking about. You are going to be moving forward from something. Everything is going to balance out up here. All right. And it just feels like you might be torn. Again, torn. It's like your emotions are pulling you one way. Your mind is pulling you another. So it does feel like there's something here where this is going to change everything. And that's exactly what you want with the Eight of Cups and the root of your spread. And we are coming after eclipse, right? That eclipse that happened in Virgo last week. There were some big endings or changes or adjustments, especially with work or health or your daily routines. But either way, you do see the eclipse happening here. You see he's moving to higher ground with the Eight of Cups. He's leaving those cups behind. He's what I said earlier. He's moving toward what he knows will serve him better. He knows there's something better for him. All right? And then so the red cloak, the red boots, that's passion. That's that Venus in you, right? Venus in your sign. And then you have that Five of Swords in your future. There may be some conversations that you're going to have. And with these conversations, you want to be the better person in the situation. You want to be the best version of yourself. The Five of Swords, it really is more about self-respect. It's like self-dignity. Can you drop these swords like everyone else has? You see that the clouds are a little jagged. And with Mercury conjunct Mars, that is pretty strong. It is in Pisces. There may be a difference of views that you may have with someone. There may be something here with, belief systems. You're just not seeing eye to eye. And so, again, you always want to be the best person in the situation. And you don't want anyone to pull you into that low energy frequency. But it also can be you, where there's something that you get. It's amazing. And then out of the blue, this is an Aquarius card, by the way. So it may have to do with like a friend. Aquarius rules your 11th house. Friendship, group, organization that you belong to, Facebook group. It doesn't matter. Just think people you're connecting with. All right. Yeah. There may be something that, because your emotions are going to be so heightened with, all this Pisces energy. There just may be something here. Let's again, everything I said earlier, be very diplomatic because the lunations is as bonkers this week too. And remember, your emotions, your feelings, it's your sensitive side. Anyway, let's get to your stuff. I'll clarify that Five of Swords too. It does look like there may be something here with a friendship, just views, right? It's views, not having the same views, but it's also those really strong words, really, that leave a bit of a sting, but it almost feels like there's that, like that's the goal. That's the goal with the Five of Swords. Anyway, Aries, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what is going on. What y'all doing? Listen, you got Ruby wanting to say hello. Ruby, do you want to say hello? No? Okay. So, she missed you, Aries. All right, let's see. Yeah, Aries. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, the sun. Again, you want to think glass overflowing. Glass overflowing, you want to be again, that it comes back to that mindset, right? It's thinking positively, optimistically. It's also feeling it as well, spiritually. Again, such a spiritual week for you. And with Mercury retrograde, you're in Aries, right? You need to get things done. You need to get the things that you want. You don't like these slowdowns, but you're gonna have a little bit of compromise. But with the sun, it's just saying let's again. There may be something here that if you do a little bit of that soul searching, that's what's going to move the needle forward. All right. You even see the Hermit that you also got to. So, like soul, sun, solar. The other thing is, it feels like if there's anything, it's getting prepared for this big change that is going to be coming, okay? And looking forward to it and not letting anything get in the way of that, all right? Because you're all about moving forward. There can be some setbacks. There can be some words exchanged. You don't want to continue to move into not only this new era, but next week, your birthday season, the new moon. Should there be anything here? Because it could also be you. There could be, even without Two of Pentacles in your crown, you could have, you may be conflicted about something. And if you are, you could be ultra sensitive as well with a week like this. And that's when you're like, get away from me. But you also got the Seven of Swords in your external factors area. And so now, do you see what's happening? It does look like they're just maybe someone that's not being very honest with you. And remember, with the fact that you have Mars conjunct the North Node this week, with Mercury conjunct Mars this week, both in Pisces, that is your 12th house. Like I said, the lower expression of the 12th house would be hidden enemies. The Seven of Swords, again, all about disloyalty, deception, dishonesty. And so you may find something out about something happening here. Okay? And again, Seven of Swords is also an Aquarius card. Seven of Swords is, third decan attributed to Moon in Aquarius. But you see that he's sneaking off with those swords in broad daylight. Not at night, in broad daylight. He's meant to be caught. There's meant to be some resolve here. So keep it in mind. This is also a week where you don't want to hold things in. Okay? Then it'll really come out. And when I say that, again, the conversations that you have, the communications that you have, very diplomatically. Maybe a friend group, like I said earlier, but I mean, you have Venus in your sign. It can be about money. It can be about, it can be a relationship. It can be love. You do have the Hermit, which is really great. I love that. I feel like maybe there was a big takeaway for you with the lunar eclipse that we just had in Virgo, the Hermit being attributed to Virgo. And this is really going deep. I mean, this is when I said soul searching, like Really doing that introspection. And again, that is the point of this week. That's the point of this week. Because you also got the Five of Wands in your final outcome. So there may be a little bit, I mean, you might be on the struggle bus for a little bit. Your stop's coming up. You want to get off, right? And so you're going to have to get along with others. For a lot of y'all, you're going to feel like some people are not on your side. Yeah? You have 3 fives. Fives are the challenge cards. But you see that you have the Ace of Cups in the heart of your spread. And so it's almost like while this seed is being planted, while this amazing thing is starting to brew, there's something here. There's still some things that you're going to have to just, again, ride out this Mercury retrograde while you have some of the most potent aspects of the month. All right? Five of Wands, that's all about learning how to work with others, because this could just continue on and on and on until someone rises above. There's too many cooks in the kitchen here. And again, a lot of this may be not having the same perspective with someone in your life. It feels like a group context. It doesn't have to be, it can be colleagues, it can be employees, it could be family, it could be friends, it could be your lover. There's so much here, okay? But it does look like with that 5 of Wands in your final outcome, whatever it is, it's so not worth their time. Those are just kids, by the way. So yeah, it could also be like maybe your children, and that's something that you're, suddenly involved in. They're not seeing eye to eye, but whatever it is, again, someone has to rise above. They're just kids swinging wands in the air. It's not even hitting each other. So there is a learning experience. Like there's a learning lesson here. All right. I'm going to clarify that 5 of Swords. I'll look at the 5 of Wands too. The 5 of Swords. You just got all the 5s in the pips. What time is it? Okay, so okay, so here's the thing. That 5 of Swords, just be very mindful. If someone is trying to, again, when I say pull you into low energy frequency, yeah, baiting you, okay? They're trying to bait you. They're trying to bait you, or you are doing it to someone else. You really want to get into this, right? This is all about ego. And then you have the 5 of Cups. This guy right here, based on the actions he takes and the words that he says, even though he looks like the victor, he could lose just as much as these people did. Okay? That's what he's not aware of. And that loss can go, it can hit hard. It can hit really hard. This is a card of mourning and regret. Yeah. So again, be very, very mindful. Someone doesn't like your overalls. You gonna flip a table? You gonna grab a baseball bat? No. You're gonna be like, you're gonna grin and bear it. Okay? You're gonna be the better person in the situation. You're gonna maybe, wear those overalls every day in front of that person. One more. Let's do it. I'm going to see. There you go. Remember, glass overflowing. There's something waiting for you. You're being tested. You know that, right? You're being tested this week. The universe got a big old test for you. A lot of it is because your ruler, Mars, is going to be with the North Node. They are going to have a conversation, okay? Negotiation. Page of Wands, there's something amazing coming out of the lessons you learn here. As long as you move forward, even with that 5 of Cups, with the spilled cups, he's got 2 cups behind him. All he has to do is let go of the past. All right? And a lot of that is going to be, again, there's something here where you're meant to learn maybe some emotional healing as well. And, that's even with the Ace of Cups, but it brings you to this Page of Wands where, there you go. You got something waiting for you, or even someone waiting for you, right? The pages bring this fresh new energy. And it is almost like, I wouldn't say starting over, but starting something new, looking forward to starting something. This is just a lot of passion here. Ones are your passions, highly associated with work, career, your goals, all of that. But they have the spirit of fire. So it's like fire in your belly to just get this new thing growing. I'm gonna look at the 5 of Wands. Aries, yeah, okay. The 8 of Swords. Listen, you're gonna have to. I hate to say it, this does look like you taking the back seat this week, just when you feel that you need to. All right, I know you're usually the driver. All right, you might want to take the back seat this week. That's it. All right, no backseat driving, but with that 8 of Swords, I just want to do one more. Of course, this is yeah. So there's the Tower is probably the best thing that just happened. Okay, because clearly something's not working. It's like, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? And then great, you got the Ace of Cups, but then it's like, and then it's like, oh no. You know what I mean? It's like everything here, 5 of Wands, Ace of Swords, 8 of Swords, where it's like limiting yourself. It's also like not facing the things that you have to face. Right? The 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords. And so remember, a lot of this is facing your reality, facing your truth. And that's what could happen. And if you do that, well, you've put yourself in this situation. Well, she has. But then with the sum of everything here, nope, this is not working out. All right. So the Tower is actually the best thing that happened for you. And actually, remember, the Tower doesn't matter. The Tower doesn't happen to you; it happens for you, right? Something's not working. Something's not working at all. And if you think about your entire spread here, where you started with the 5 of Pentacles, with the 2 people here, you got the 2 people falling out of the Tower. What I say about the ego here, you see the crown being knocked off the Tower. The crown representing ego here, but something wasn't working. Good. When the Tower falls, you can see, right? And this is burning it down, building it up. It honestly might be you too, but it just feels like there may be something this week where something starts from the beginning. And it's a good sign with the Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, the Tower. It may be the hard way, but it's a way, to get yourself out of a situation that maybe is just too much back and forth. No? All right. So you're actually really good. You're gonna have a week. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have a week. Aries, thanks so much. And let me just you got to face your truths. You got to be honest with yourself. You can be mindful with the way that, not only the way that you're speaking with the people that you think, that where you're not seeing eye to eye, but it is also up here. Okay. It feels like you're conflicted about something. And it's almost like there's something new that is gifted to you, this lifeline this week, but there's still so much noise that's happening around you. And that's what's pulling you into this, could be pulling you into this frequency. But, you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. Anyway, next week is your week. That's the thing. That is the cluster of aspects, the equinox, the new moon, all the planets going direct. I told you, you're going to feel this week. Remember, even with Jupiter going direct, that is going to be a lot of momentum. And then the second spread, the bonus spread, we're going to look at the other half of your forecast, which is, the fixed stars. We'll look at Antares, the lunations, the rare double linked, reception that's happening on Monday. Um, well, and using the Tempest deck, and where we'll pull more cards. We always look for cards that overlap from here. That's when you get that wink from the universe. Aries. And so tier 3 members, really good and legendary members, you know where to find the link. Thank you so much for being members. Anyone's welcome to join if you like this reading. It'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Aries, I don't think I've ever. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be good. High frequency, okay? Love, self-love, compassion, all of that. You're gonna be great. I will see you next week. All right. Thanks so much. Bye bye.